Hello everyone, this is Rita Choi from AsiaHRM. I have been a human resources professional for over 25 years, working for different multinational companies. During the time when I was the regional head for human resources, I had the pain of connecting with human resources practitioners of different countries in Asia. Therefore, I decided to do something for the HR society. That is to set up AsiaHRM. AsiaHRM is an international organization for human resources professionals to stay ahead of the curve, keep abreast of the latest information, trends, and best practices. We have social networking platform. We organize webinars from time to time. We also have our mentoring programs as well as the certification programs. During this journey is a lot of hurdles and challenges. But one thing that I feel blessed is that I have met with a lot of great HR leaders, such as Chasu, Abby, Mike, Peter, Barry, Rennie, Dia, and many, which I have to name. And also a lot of selfless contributors, and Ria is one of them. I'm so grateful that I met with them, and I look forward to working with them for many years to come. We are so excited that AsiaHRM is having its first gathering HR conference and appreciation dinner on the 18th of November in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. A few years back, when I was networking and engaging our HR members of AsiaHRM, we were discussing where and when we are going to meet up with each other. But one has never thought that pandemic has taken a few years. And this year, we are so lucky that our truth has come true. Pandemic has really made the world upside down. Remote working has become a trend, and it has happened. We cannot get away from it. But how are we going to motivate our employees? How are we going to engage them so that they will go extra miles for the company? That's why our theme for the conference is shifting of paradigm from process focus to people-centric. If you really want to learn to be a champion, employee champion, if you really want to know how to motivate your employee, especially under this work model. In the conference, we have HR leaders from different countries who will be telling you all these tips. We will have 4 panel discussions revolving around this theme. If you want to join us, please visit our website, www.asiahrm.com. Look for the event page. I look forward to seeing you all there. Remember, the 18th November this month in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Thank you.
This is Mosharraf Hossain. I am the president of the Federation of Bangladesh Human Resource Organizations and also the president of the Institute of Personnel Management in Bangladesh. I am the former president of the Asia Pacific HR Federation and also the board member of the World HR Federation. This is my pleasure to tell you that we are going to organize a big conference in Malaysia, AsiaHRM Conference and Appreciation Dinner. And I'm going to attend this from Bangladesh, and I will be also attending in one of the panel discussion where we will be discussing what are the role and responsibilities of the HR and the union after COVID situation. I'm very sure that COVID has changed everything in the world, also in the organization. So we should really know and discuss what would be our role. This is a new situation, so the roles and responsibilities will be definitely new. So we will learn from the conference that what is our role and what is the role of the union, because together we have to make the organization and the company successful, because company success matters for us, matter for the clients and customers. Thank you very much. I hope I will see all of you in the conference in November 18th. Thank you.
Well, currently I'm the Vice President HR and Administration at Honda Malaysia Sdn Bhd. And I'm also currently the lead AsiaHRM for Malaysia. Right. And the topic that I'll be moderating is the first topic. The title is the role of HR and union post-pandemic. And the speakers will be Professor Balakrishnan Paras Aman from University Malaysia Kelantan, Badrul Izam Baharum from Malaysia, and Wan Nong Khairul also from Malaysia, from PLAS Berhad. So we're talking about the role of HR and union after the economic open post-pandemic era. So there will be three speakers that will be talking about topic, and hopefully that I think all the speakers will talk about how after the pandemic, how both the management or HR and also union can work together to, especially during the difficult time. Right. And also for this period, I would say some of the companies recovery period for most of the companies, to work together to ensure that the survival of the company, and how then both parties can work as a business partner, as a team, towards ensuring that the survival of the company and in the future. I think that will be the main topic that we'll be talking about. So with vast knowledge of Professor Balakrishnan from the university, and also from two seasoned practitioners, Badrul Izam Baharum and also Wan Nong Khairul, the topic will be discuss the topic in a very good and also in from academic perspective, as well as from the practitioner's perspective. The panel member will be from the union, so we'll see what we can do. If we can manage to get one panel from the union side, I think that will be a balanced representation from the academic practitioner as well as the union.
Hello everyone, my name is Dia Ambarwati. I've been working in HR industry since 1991. I started my career as an educator, and then I joined the hospitality industry for 13 and a half years. I've been in communication and marketing industry for 4.5 years, and currently I'm with insurance industry, life insurance in particular, where I've been heading the HR department for almost 11 years. And I've been a loyal member to AsiaHRM because I believe AsiaHRM has been empowering so many HR practitioners to be involved and to take part in their roles as many things, right? As the country leads, as the facilitators, panelists, and then as the students for their program. So it empowers many HR practitioners to be involved. More importantly, AsiaHRM is also a keen believer in supporting women leadership growth. Yes. Right? So if you see my participation today, right, it's all motivated by all the journeys that we have done together with AsiaHRM, and I will be presenting eccentric and the hybrid work arrangement in this event. And I think just a highlight of what I'm going to discuss with the esteemed panelists later on is about making an organization an employee-centric, right? I think first and foremost, we need to put employees at the center of everything we do. and that our strategy and actions will be revolving around the employee needs. And then we need to give the opportunities for experiential learning and development for them to grow with the company. And we should create exposures and forums where they can contribute and express their ideas. And most importantly, we also need to pay attention in their wellness. And particularly, the wellness in my organizations are on the three elements, which is the physical wellness, and then mental wellness, and financial wellness, as we operate as a financial institution. And we should be an inspiration to the surrounding community of what an ideal wellness should be like. And I think comprises of all what I have said. This become the anchor of how an organization can successfully put themselves as an employee-centric organization. So I hope you all can join the program, and that's because we are going to speak with many panelists, and that I'm sure you will learn a lot from us, and we can learn from each other. Right. So look forward to your your participations.
For all the viewers, hi, this is Api. I have about 17 years of experience, like Ria said, in HR operations, HR technology, and transformation. Right now, I'm working on few initiatives, and as I call myself, gig by choice. So I'm working on HR upskilling, or in general, focusing on upskilling and capability development. Employment or employability enhancement, and the HR technology and transformation maturity assessments. That's what I'm focusing on. I've been with AsiaHRM for almost 3 years now, and I think very intrigued with the vision that Rita, Azul, and the other co-founders and the current core committee has. So I'm very happy to be part of this community. Very excited for the first in-person conference in KL on 18th November. So everyone who's watching, do try to make it. And I think the topic for our session that I'm part of is how do we build a purposeful organization for employee engagement? And I think employee engagement has always been one of the biggest focus areas for human resources, people functions, and even the CEOs of organizations. Given that employee engagement costs, or rather, I would say, disengaged employment or employees cost organizations about $40 billion only in the US annually. That's the cost of disengagement because of lost productivity, because of employees leaving. They're not creating a purpose. So I think there are a few keywords in the topic itself. One is a purposeful organization. I think many times employees do not really understand how their daily work, right, translates to the organization mission, vision, objectives. So I think that's a very important area for employees and how they are more engaged on a day-to-day basis, and how they make sense of what they are doing and how that's translating. The other thing that I personally believe is the personal value alignment with organization culture is extremely important for an engaged employee, because salary and some of those basic stuff, right? The hygiene factors only excite people to a certain extent, and beyond which they start looking at various other elements of engagement. And I think these are things that I'll be covering, but along with the other core speakers. So really excited for the conference in KL. and looking forward to meet everyone. So do join us, whoever is in KL, and whoever has not registered yet, I think welcoming you to the conference.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are at the moment. My name is Wan Nong Khairul. Basically, I started off my career as a lawyer, for about 10 years. That was until about 2006 before I left practice and joined the corporate world. I was with MISC for about 8 years. MISC is a Malaysian shipping company. Okay. I was with the legal department for a couple of years before I ventured into human resource, specializing in industrial relations. After MISC, I left MISC for Proton. Proton, as you know, is our national car maker. I was doing industrial relations there as well. And finally, I left Proton for my current position right now in Plus, which is our highway concession, one of the biggest highway concession in Malaysia. Again, specializing in, industrial relations. So I will be talking on the topic of the role of human resource and union post-pandemic. I guess from my my current and my two previous company, we do have unions in all those three companies, but it's more in-house rather than national union. So I will be sharing my experiences working with union, especially talking on how the company adjusts to because previously it was the new normal phase. I would call what we have right now is the back to normal phase. So we are just adjusting to where we were before pre-pandemic. Even that needs a bit of adjustment, after about 2.5 years of adjusting to the new environment and the work culture and work arrangement. So basically that will be my topic, and of course, as we all know, union plays a very important role in a particular company. They are basically the backbone. They make the company tick, right? The company, the management, we provide the vision, the business model and all that, but it is the workers who make the company move. So it is a hybrid of the two, Right. And I will be sharing, I guess, my experiences on how to make these two, union and management, work together for the benefit of the workers. Because at the end of the day, as a company, although our customers come first, we should never forget our workers, because they are basically, like I mentioned earlier, the backbone of the company. So hopefully, during my session later, on the 18th, it will be beneficial to those who will be joining us. Me and my fellow panelists, we will be sharing our experiences. So I guess we'll wait for the 18th.
Hi, my name is Akmal Ismail. I'm known as a turnaround man. I was involved in turnaround of 7 companies, 4 of which are quite sizable companies. If you're familiar with Malaysian market, one of them would be CTRM or Group CTRM, Alam Flora. The last 2 was Post Logistic and Container National. These are among the companies that I've led as a CEO and turnaround. Obviously, the subject is one of the important subjects in history of management. Because if you ask me, what would be one similar thing or one constant thing that I implement or execute or I follow every time I move company to company, that will be communication. Because as far as turnaround is concerned, strategy is important because you need to have a correct strategy. But in my turnaround, what constant is always about people. And then regardless how smart you are as CEO, if you don't have support of your people, people that agree with you, it's difficult for you to turn around the company or improve, execute improvement for that matter. So for us to be able to, or for me to be able to execute my plan efficiently, I need everyone to be on my side. I need buy-in from everyone, and buy-in can only happen if you communicate. And then I'm not just talking about meeting communication. I'm talking about engagement. I'm talking about informal meeting. I'm talking about just walking through the corridor to every department before the official town hall or official meeting with the staff, just to check with them like 15-20 minutes what happened to the organization, kind of thing. So not just because of this particular purpose, but I'm a true believer of good communication. If one day you have an opportunity to view my profile, what normally stated very strongly or very shiny, so-called, in my profile is that I would say something like, strategy is important, but trust, teamwork, and a lot of communication is the one that make it happen.
First of all, I'd like to introduce my full name is Professor Dr. Balakrishnan Parasuraman, very long name, from Faculty of Entrepreneurship and Business, University of Malaysia, Kelantan. Actually, I'm the advisor also for AsiaHRM for Malaysian chapter, and same time also research fellow for National Human Resource Center under the Ministry of Human Resources. I also really appointed again after 10 years as a Technical Committee for Wages Council in Malaysia. So you can see the wages, minimum wage, and the policy and the law legislation is a group of experts appointed in the multiple discipline to draft the new legislation, or we every 2 years under the law we have to revise the salary. So that's my job. And also in the beginning I was working in the University of Malaysia Sabah, which is located about 2.5 hours flight from Kuala Lumpur to Kota Kinabalu in Borneo Island. And I started the industrial relation program after another University of Malaysia Sarawak. So we have degree program, Bachelor of Industrial Relation, and I think I started work there in year 1996. And I joined as a tutor until I become associate professor in year 2008. And then later I was another university was established, a new university also in Kelantan, University of Malaysia Kelantan. Another name is the University of Entrepreneurship. Currently we are number one university in Malaysia, especially focused on entrepreneurship education. This is the public university. So I was asked to come, and I came here to under the talent move from another university to another university. It's normal for government university move, but I was promoted full professor. So that's the reason I come over to Kelantan all the way down. But for me, what I'm trying to do is actually to establish a strong HR and IR. So in the beginning, yes, before I come to UMK, I was more focused on IR, especially like trade union, collective bargaining, employee relationship, labor law, and wages and all this. But later, when I come to University of Malaysia Kelantan, I found that the entrepreneur is actually lacking of another field, which I think important, HR, human resource management. So human resource and IR is very complementary each other. But look at now currently, we can see that IR become very important. So when I come to teach of my entrepreneurship student, we don't have any bachelor program or master's specialized program on HR, but we do have one core subject where about 3,000 students will take this subject every semester, every year. If they want to graduate, compulsory, we make compulsory. So that is an opportunity for me to teach them what is the fundamental of HR within 4 months. At least I introduce to them HR is actually very important, but in line with this, of course, IR very important. HR is more hardcore. You are training people, you recruit people, and you make sure people perform. Finally, people will go beyond the job at the current. Maybe they have career path. For example, I stay at least one place more than 5 years. For example, in UMS, I stay 17 years, and here I'm already 10 years. So I practice HR actually. Pretty well, union not ready to change, and employer must ready to accept. That is my tagline. Union are willing to collaborate. Are we ready to accept them as one of our partner, or we want to treat them as enemy? If you treat them enemy, then a lot things will happen. That's what we discussed in our forum, which I think moderated by Chenzol, who is a very well-known person, and Mr. Badrol, and other speakers I think who are in that room. I think I heard plus the IR director. So we all discussed about that, and people outside, please come and join. Don't go for the value, money or cost. Go for the value. You meet these ASEAN HR people, not that easy. And Kuala Lumpur is just a starting point. So I'm welcoming all of you to Kuala Lumpur, a beautiful city. You can have any kind of food. People very nice here. You can see the people of different colors, right? So I welcome everybody. Maybe we have a more fruitful discussion in Kuala Lumpur. Thank you.
I'm Kamaldeen. I'm currently working as a team leader, a senior director for onsite, a semiconductor company. I'm managing the Southeast Asia region, where we have nearly 10,000 employees roughly in the region, looking into the full spectrum of HR. That's what I'm doing today. I was with Motorola, I was with Bose, the speaker company. So my journey always in HR, in electronic-based and American-based company. So I was really delighted when the AsiaHRM invited me to share some of my experience in the forum when we talk about the purposeful organization through employee engagement. So I think that topic is really, really key right now when we talk about the hybrid working. Some people working in the office face-to-face, some actually working from home, some company even 100% working from home. How do we get people engaged while at the end of the day the organization needs to achieve their goals? When we talk about the purpose of organization, for a profit-making organization, it's always making the numbers, get the customers delighted so that the business is going to go, continue to grow. But who run that business is the people. And there are a lot of studies saying that engaged employees is actually provide more benefit to the organization. So while the purpose of the organization is actually on the business, but the role of the HR leaders and also the leaders of the organization is really to engage people. So that's really in a nutshell. How do I'm going to share based on my experience, how do we engage people through the purpose of the organization? Because actually every organization wants to make money, unless you run a non-profit organization. So in this context, I will share about profit organization. How do we engage our employees so that the employee can help the company to make profit? So come and join me and my partner in the forum, as well as the rest of the speakers. What you're going to get from this forum, I believe, is going to be a lot more practical, a lot more experience-based rather than the theory. Looking at the background of the other speaker as well, I believe they will come with their experience. So this will be a good opportunity for people, for all of you to really come and join this forum. And I was told that this forum is not a huge forum where 1,000 people know. It is a small forum where you can engage yourself and with the speaker, which is actually a niche that the AsiaHRM is actually providing.
Everyone, thank you for the invitation to be part of the exciting first ever AsiaHRM conference, and I'm pleased to be participating as part of the panelists for the session. So my name is Monique, as shared, and I have more than 20 years of experience from the HR landscape, and I have a various industry exposure as well, being based out of Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Switzerland as well. So, and what I do in HR has been always about talent, about people-centric. And I'm actually very excited to be part of this session as well, where we talk about how do we move from HR from a process-centric to a people-centric organization. And come and listen to us, where we're going to be discussing deeply about this topic, and that's where we're going to share as well what is our take and based on our experience and also our knowledge in this area. So come with me and listen.
I'm Ariana Satria, you can call me Ariana. I'm the assistant professor in Universitas Indonesia, particularly in Faculty of Economic and Business. This is the oldest and the best university in Indonesia, just like the University of Malaya in Malaysia. Actually, I'm a multidisciplinary academics. I took my bachelor degree from industrial engineering, and then my master's from Universitas Indonesia in financial management. And lastly, I took my doctorate from the University of Queensland in Australia in industrial relations from School of Political Science and International Studies. Therefore, I'm quite familiar with what we call a mixed method research that combine between quantitative and qualitative research. After finishing my doctorate, then I started working in Universitas Indonesia since 2008, and then I took some grants that allowed me to travel to some areas to understand more about the industrial relation condition in several countries like in Japan, China, South Korea, as well as Brussels or Belgium and Germany. I also the vice chairman for a wage council of the province of Jakarta. This council establishes minimum wage every year by conducting negotiations between employers, trade union, as well as government. I also chair the Center for Social Security Studies. This center actually serves to improve the condition of after the reform of social security system in Indonesia introduced. This center particularly research about the social security in health as well as in manpower and social assistance. Some research has been published in top journal like 41 and 42 in Scopus, and we also provide some consultancy to some research or to some company as well. I also have some experience in managing internet and satellite business, particularly in business development and the marketing. Our publication also has been listed in some innovation journal as well as industrial relation and economic health journals. I think that's all from me. In this conference, I will talk more about how to shift from HR in process focus to people-centric. As we know that people are the most valuable resources in organization, whatever organization, whether it's a for-profit or non-for-profit. We also have experience during pandemic that people are very, very important. Therefore, we will discuss a little bit about how to emphasize the development and also the preparation of people to become more agile, to cope with future challenges. That's all from me. See you.